Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm really excited. At the beginning of July, I shared with you guys that July is my favorite month. It's also my birthday month, and this is also the month that I'll be attending my very first Stampin' Up! Incentive trip in Alaska. I am so excited about that. So because of all the amazing things happening in July and the fact that it's my favorite month anyways, I decided to offer a really amazing July gift for anyone who places an order of $75 or more in my online Stampin' Up! Store using the host code. So during the month of July 2018, when you spend $75 or more in my online Stampin' Up! Store using the host code, you will receive the Artfully folded stamp set in the mail from me as a gift. I am so excited to offer this stamp set as a gift, you guys. It's so much fun. It's a two-step stamp set. You've got all of these really cute little paper cranes and a little swan, some other images as well as a sentiment in this set. And as an extra bonus, in addition to receiving the Artfully folded stamp set as a gift from me, you will also receive consumable supplies to make a single card featuring this stamp set. So you'll get to use your stamp set right away. So the card kit is a lot of fun. I'm going to share with you in the video how to create the card. Alright, so here is that Artfully folded stamp set, a close-up of that. So hopefully the lighting's okay. I'm filming this video at 6 in the morning, so hopefully you guys can see okay. Okay, so that's the stamp set. So let me show you what the card looks like from the kit. So here is the card. I absolutely love this card. Isn't this so much fun? There's some heat embossing in gold there. You've got the gold foil paper in the background. Just a lot of fun. I really love how this card turned out, and I actually got the idea from this card, or for this card, from the catalog. So in our current 2018-19 catalog, you can find the Hostess stamp sets at the back of the catalog, starting on page 226. So it says just for hosts. So these are stamp sets that can be earned when you place a qualifying order of $150 or greater, or you host a party at $150 or greater. Then you can use your Stampin' rewards to purchase these sets for free. So on page 228 is where the Artfully folded stamp set is. And you can see that sample right here. So I think I did a pretty good job casing that card. The only thing that is different is I think they used Pool Party here, and I did too, and I think their stamping is Pool Party, but I chose to do Bermuda Bay for the stamping. I just liked how it was a little bit darker and stood out more behind the vellum. But other than that, I think I got it pretty close here. So turned out very cute. But so yeah, you can earn this stamp set for just $75 when you place your order in my online store this month. All right, so all of your consumable supplies will be included in this kit, and then you'll also have the stamp set from me, and then the ink colors that you'll need are Bermuda Bay and Berry Burst. So to get started, I am going to take out this piece of Whisper White. So this is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Up! Piercing mat, and then I've got some scratch paper on top. We are going to go ahead and create that background image. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the Bermuda Bay, and we're just going to create our own background. So I've got, let's see, I've got, which one of these paper cranes do I have? Oh, I have it upside down. I have this one. So I've got this image right here. Yeah, I've got this image right here. You can choose whatever image you want, really. I'm going to use this one, and I'm just going to ink this up, and I'm going to keep the background pretty straight, well, as straight as I possibly can. I'm not going to stamp this randomly. I'm going to try and stamp it repeatedly, but kind of in a straight line here. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next line. Okay, there we go. So that finishes up our background. I really love how that looks. It's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that to the side, and then there's this little tiny strip. Actually, let me bring back my piercing mat just in case. So there's this little tiny strip of Whisper White. I'm gonna bring in my Berry Burst ink pad, and I'm gonna stamp that Be Your Own Kind of Beautiful sentiment from the stamp set. I'm just gonna ink that up very carefully. And since this is a little stamp, you just wanna use little pressure since it's very small font. You wanna use little pressure so that you don't smash down the words or blur the sentiment. So just very little pressure. There you go. So you can see that sentiment there. So this paper swan image that we're going to stamp, I found it stamped straighter. I was able to align it better when I used the Stamparatus. So that's what we're going to do, and I am going to use both plates here. So this plate on. Okay, and then since the stamps are photopolymer, I am going to use my the little foam mat that comes with the Stamparatus. This is for using photopolymer stamps, and it just helps you get the best image possible. So I'm going to bring in that piece of Whisper White. I'm going to go ahead and put it here. Put my magnet to keep that in place. So I am going to, you've got two swan images that we're going to use here. So one has lines etched in it and it's kind of flat, and the other has raised lines. So hopefully you can see that. I'm going to stamp the one with the etched flat surface first, then I'll come in and stamp this one. So what I want to do is I'm going to stamp this in the bottom left hand corner so that in case I make, oh, there's like a little hair on there, so that in case I make a mistake, oh, it's from the Stampin' Scrub. In case I make a mistake, I've still got this corner up here and I can try again, just in case for some reason I don't get it right. Okay, so I'm just going to pick this image up, and I forgot to mention there is another ink color that you're going to need. You're going to need the Smoky Slate, so I forgot about that. All right, so I've got that. I'm just going to carefully lift this up. There we go. And I'm going to ink up this little swan image. And if you don't stamp it exactly how you like it the first time, you can stamp it again and it will line up perfectly with this Stamparatus. The placement will be in the exact same spot, so you can do it again. And I'm wondering if I got the neck of the swan inked well enough. I think it's okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and see if I can get a little bit more ink on the neck. Let's see. Okay, I think I got it that time. Just wanted a little bit more on there. Press. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna take that second image here and I'm going to lay it on top and line it up as best as I can. Okay, I actually think that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna pick this image up, but what I wanna do before I stamp this image is I bring in my powder tool and I'm just going to hit this with the powder tool just like that, because we're going to do some heat embossing. So we're actually going to stamp in Versamark ink. So you also need Versamark ink. I don't know, it's too early. I think that's what it is. It's too early and I'm forgetting things. So you need Versamark ink, you need Smoky Slate, Berry Burst, and Bermuda Bay. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up my stamp over here. I just want to be sure that I get Versamark on the entire image, and I'm probably going to stamp this 2 times just to make sure that I did get the entire thing. And Versamark is just a nice wet sticky ink, and it's going to help the embossing powder stick to this image. So there we go. Make Making sure I got that really nicely. Yep. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and you can kind of see that there, the wet Versamark. I'm gonna go ahead and take this, bring back my scratch paper, and I've got my gold Stampin' embossed powder here. I'm just gonna pour this all over the image and it should stick pretty well. There we go, yeah. Looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna do it one more time, just make sure everything's covered really well. Yep. Alrighty, so we can put all of this embossing powder back into the pot. And I'm just gonna bring in my Stampin' Up! Heat tool, and I'm going to heat set this embossing powder, and that's going to dry it for us. So you can see the pretty gold. Isn't that nice? There it is. So pretty. All right, so then we are going to fussy cut this little swan out. So you're just gonna need your paper snips or some really good detail scissors. And you just wanna go around, and I am gonna leave just a very tiny, tiny border, but just go ahead and get this image all cut out. Okay, and then once you've got your little swan all cut out, the other thing that we're going to cut out is the sentiment. So we need to go around and cut this out really nice and tight. And we're actually only going to keep the be your own kind of. We're going to cut off the word beautiful. Okay. And then we're going to cut in between own and kind. Okay, and you've got two pieces there. So now we can start assembling this card. So for the card base, you've got a piece of Whisper White thick cardstock. This is 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and I have scored it at 5 1/2 inches. Just going to give this a nice tight crease there. All right. Then I'm going to add on this piece of vellum, and this vellum is cut at 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, and I am going to add most of the adhesive down here towards the bottom, and then I'll center that vellum up just like that. So it's going to be loose, but that's okay. All the other layers will help kind of keep it in place. Okay, then we're going to take this piece of Smoky Slate cardstock, and I already embossed this with the Oh My Stars embossing folder, so I ran that through the Big Shot, and I had this piece cut down originally to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, ran it through the Big Shot and embossed it, and then I put it in my paper trimmer and at an angle, and I just cut it. So I actually had two pieces cut this direction once I did that. So we're gonna put this down here at the bottom, and then this gold starburst punch, punch that out of some gold foil, that's gonna go right behind it, and then this will end up going on top. Okay, so what I'm going to do is add some adhesive to the back of this, and then I'm just going to go ahead and tuck it right behind. Then we can also go ahead and just add a little bit more adhesive right there behind the vellum. Perfect. And then go ahead and add this piece to the front. We'll put this right here. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and add this piece of ribbon that comes in the kit. So this is some of the gray granite textured weave ribbon. So we're gonna go ahead and add that on. So I'm just gonna flip this over, add a little bit of adhesive, and then all we've got to do is line that up with our angle and adhere it down. Okay, that looks good. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and add this to the front of my card with dimensionals. All right, got all the backings off of my dimensionals, and I'll just go ahead and put this right on the center of my card base. Okay, there we go. Then on the back of my swan here, I'm going to add one dimensional there, and I'll go ahead and pop my little swan up on this piece of Pool Party cardstock. And I used the 2-inch circle punch to punch that out. So I've just got that on there. Then we can take our Be Your Own Kind Of, and I'm gonna adhere that using my Tombow liquid glue. You could also use the fine tip glue. Whoops, what is this? Okay, so I'm just gonna put a little bit on this side. Okay. Be Your Own. Put that there. And then a little bit more adhesive here. Kind of. Put this there, okay. And then I'll throw a couple more dimensionals on the back of this piece. And now we can add this right here, and I just want some of that gold starburst poking from behind. So I'll go ahead and put that right there. That looks good. All right, so then we're gonna add on this word amazing just right about here across the swan. So this is from the Celebrate You Thinlits, which carried over from the Celebration catalog recently. So I just added a little bit of adhesive to part of the first M, the A, and part of the Z. So let's see, I think I'm just gonna stick that on. I'm just gonna stick it on just like that. All right, so that finishes up this card, and there is my original and then the one from the video. I really, really love this card. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. And remember, you can earn the Artfully Folded stamp set as a gift from me during the month of July when you spend $75 or more in my online Stampin' Up! Store. Just be sure you use the host code when you place your order. You can find the current host code when you visit today's blog post. Just click in the video description below. It'll take you over there and you can find the current host code. And I'll be shipping the stamp set as well as the bonus single card kit in August. So about August 16th, these gifts will go out. So thanks again for joining me today, you guys. Remember, you can find all of the measurements for today's project as well as the supply list by visiting my blog post. I've linked to that post just below the video, and I've also got a full supply list with clickable links in the video description below as well. So thanks again, and I'll be back soon with another tutorial. Bye now.